everybody, welcome to Simply Cards by Kathy and to Friday Fun at 1. I'm Kathy Ondas and today is Friday, December 9th, 2022. And I am excited to share a really fun Christmas card with you today. We are going to use Mistletoe Magic, and it was a stamp set that really hadn't caught my eye in the beginning when the new mini catalog came out. I know you can hear noise in the background. I actually have a puppy with a bone, and I'm going to run over and take that bone. Thank you for your patience. He is a 4.5-month-old golden retriever, and he was chewing his bone, but not very quietly. So thank you for your patience. The Mistletoe Magic was one that didn't catch my eye right away, and as time went on, I really enjoyed it and ordered it. But having had been sick, I hadn't had a chance to play with it until this past week. So I have a card that I think you're going to enjoy, and I'm excited to share it with you. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button and light up that little bell, and you'll get notified when a new video comes out or when I'm live. And if you are returning with me, thank you so much for your support in helping me grow my channel. And if you are catching me on replay, I'm so happy that you're here with me also. So if you're live with me, please leave me a comment. Let me know where you're from. And if you have any questions, I promise to try to answer them during the video, and if not, I promise I'll get to them afterwards. Let's flip that camera over. So this is the card we're going to make. I just love the way it turned out. It's just kind of screams Christmas to me, but it has an elegant look to it. So I am going to show you what we're using. Let me move this off to the side for a minute. We're going to use, this is the Mistletoe Magic, and we're using the bundle. These are the stamps, and we're going to be using this stamp here and this one, and I already have them pulled out for you. And we're going to be using 2 of the greetings, and this is a cling stamp set, so it's the red rubber. And then here are the mistletoe dies. There are 11 dies in this set, and we are going to be using many of them. And I have them pre-cut for you to try to save a little bit of time, because I know your time is valuable. And so we're going to go from here. So this is in the new mini catalog, and remember, these are all last chance products. This one is retiring. But I have to admit, even though it's retiring, I am probably going to be keeping this one. I just love the look of it. We're also going to be using the time-worn type 3D embossing folder. If you've not seen that, that is in our annual catalog. And this is one of my favorites because it actually gives you such a elegant background for almost anything you want to do. So let me bring in my supplies and we're going to get started. Now, give me until this evening, and their measurements and supply list and written instructions will all be right down below the video. There'll be a link that'll take you over to my blog post, and there will be a downloadable and printable PDF tutorial for you. So don't worry about the measurements, they will be there. So this is basic white thick cardstock. I try to use the thick always as my card base when I'm using white, because I feel it gives you a stronger and just a nicer look to it. This is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold this on the score line and burnish it with our bone folder. And I hope you have some fun plans for this weekend. It is hard to believe that Christmas weekend is only 2 weeks away. So there's our card base. Now, for our next layer, we are going to be using a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white, and this has been embossed with that time-worn type. And hopefully I'm trying to get it so you can see it. So we're going to go ahead and set that off to the side. And then the next layer is this gold. It was the shimmer paper. This is 3 3/4 by 5. It is going to be a layer. Now, since having made this card, this shimmer paper is sold out and gone. But don't let that stop you, because you can use gold foil, and it's gonna look just as nice on there. So that's another option for you. Also, if you have the distressed gold paper, that's an option. So different things you can do with that. So I am going to bring in our Stamparatus. And I'm using this because these two, this one in particular, is a larger stamp. And I want to make sure I get a nice, crisp, clear image. And so that if I don't, on my first try, instead of using a block, I can go back over, re-ink this, and stamp again. So I've kind of set this up here. So let me go ahead and just put my magnets down. I have brought the camera in closer in hopes that when I get to the coloring, that helps you to see. If you're out there with me, hi Gina, I'm so glad you're watching from Ohio. Thank you. If you are, we're going to use, I'm going to be coloring this with Stampin' Blends. So when you're using the blends, you want to use the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this under here just to give me support. And I'm going to ink this up. Now I'm going to stamp both of these at the same time. Gina, where are you in Ohio? Okay, we're going to go down with this. And I just give it a good press. I try to hold the plate down so that it doesn't shake, because otherwise you might get some wavy lines there. And I'm pretty happy with that image. So we're going to go ahead and work with that. Now I am going to do some coloring for you to show you how I colored this, but I'm not going to color the whole thing. I've done all of it ahead of time, but I did want to show you how I use the Stampin' Blends. And I do see we're getting some sunlight in here. I have a very high window, and with it being winter, the sun has come much lower, so it kind of shines in. So I kind of have some cardboard built up around me. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Blends, and the ones that I have are Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Melon Mambo, and Real Red. So I am going to start with the Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to go with the dark. So you're about 5 hours from me. You're Cincinnati, and I'm in Cleveland. So welcome. I hope you'll join me again. So I'm going to use, I normally use the brush end of my Stampin' Blends. I'm going to use the bullet point today. And I'm going to use these lines that are in the image. And let's see if I can bring you in just a little bit closer without making you dizzy. Okay. Let me know how that is. So I'm just going to come in and use that bullet point and add some color. And again, to the lines that were are already in the stamps, just to give it some definition. And again, just going to do some of it, not going to do the whole thing for you because I have it done. And then I'm going to come in with my dark old olive. And again, using the bullet point, just going to add some in here at the ends of the leaves, just for some definition. And then I'm going to come in with my light old olive, and I'm just going to do a light circular motion to kind of blend these colors together. I want to keep that definition of the lines from the stamp set, but I also want to be able to, with adding those different colors, no leaves are one color. I just like to add, have it look as natural or as real as I can. And you can go back over it if you want more definition or more depth with the dark colors. You can go back over it again. And hopefully you can see me doing that. So again, just going real lightly in a circular motion. And then carrying it down. And you'll do that through the whole leaf. And I can finish that up a little bit later. Now for the berries, I chose Melon Mambo and Real Red. I am going to use the dark Melon Mambo. And again, my bullet point. And I just going to go in here right along the edge of the berry. And again, there are some defining lines. And then I'm going to come in with my dark Real Red. And I'm going to add a little bit more. And I'm just kind of blending these two colors together. And now I'm going to come in with my light Real Red. And I'm going to, again, do a light circular motion and color these berries in. And let me bring those up for you. And I'm going to kind of move these out of the way. So here's the color that you have with the blending with the Mossy Meadow and the Old Olive and the Melon Mambo and Real Red. Now here are the branches finished. I have two of them here. And we also have the small one. So really pretty. And then we can add a little bit to that as we go along. So I'm going to pull out all of our pieces parts. And I'm going to show you what we have. We're going to put our card together. So with the dies, I wanted, I'm using these detailed evergreen dies, this one and this small one right here. And this is in Mossy Meadow. And you're going to see, I'm just going to use it for some accent points on the front of my card. This die here, I love. Let me pull this one out. This gives you really detailed branches of the mistletoe. This is in shimmer white, and I actually added some, oh my goodness, Winkostella to it afterwards. But you can see if you look at this die, you have all these little, which could be the berries, and you see I have them cut out here, but I have them cut out for another reason. You can cut those out and fill those in, and you actually have the berries right in here. I'm not doing that. I'm going to be using this just as it is. So here's our pieces. You also, with this set, have two different bows. One that you can cut out a stamped bow, and I have a sample here because I did do that and then decided it was just too big for this card. So that goes with this. And then you have a detailed bow, which I love. That's this one, and the one we're going to use on our card. Okay, so let's get busy. So I'm going to bring our pieces and parts back in, and here's our card base. And we're going to go ahead and adhere our dry embossed, the time-worn type, to the base of the card. Now I am going to use multi-purpose glue. I always use multi-purpose glue when I'm using an embossing folder, simply because I think it holds up and adheres better. You have all those divots from the embossing on the back of that sheet, and I just think the glue gets in there better, at least for me, and that's what I use. So let's go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and center that up and have that. Now our next layer, again, you could, if you have the glimmer paper, use it. Otherwise, use your foil. I'm going to go ahead and use the glimmer paper, and we're going to go ahead and adhere this one too. Now, if you haven't had a chance to look at the last chance list, there is a PDF over on my website, also that you can print. And also take a look at the new, the updated clearance list. They've added some great products to that list that I think was very unexpected by many of us. So here's our layer. So now next, this is 3.5. Yep. This is 3.5 by 4.25. And this is the layer we're going to use to arrange our holly. So I'm going to go ahead, and with this, we're going to lay down the white first. And I'm going to go ahead, and I just threw a piece somewhere. Here it is, flew across the desk. I want this to show up even with these. I want that to kind of overlay. And the nice thing about this is I can go ahead and interlock them here. And I'm going to take a glue dot, and I'm just going to kind of hook those together with that. Now, if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to have the opportunity to earn your business and help you with your crafting needs. And if you do have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'm still very happy you're here with me, and I hope you'll continue to feel welcome and free to come back. So couple things you can do with this. I'm using, just dabbing my multi-purpose glue. You could use our adhesive sheets and go ahead and put this on the back of the shimmer white cardstock and then cut it. I found actually after making a couple of these that the glue worked okay for me, and I was all right with that. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this right across on an angle. Now I don't care that it's hanging off, because remember, it's going to be a layer on top of here. So I'm not worried about that. And just going to make sure it's pressed down. And now I'm going to come in with this one. Now, we're only going to use one of these, but you could double this up if you wanted to and do a full-length card. But I'm going to stick with what I started to do. And we're going to use this. And let me reach over here out of the way. And this. So I want to be able to still see that white, shimmer white with my mistletoe. So with this, I'm going to kind of angle it up this way so that the shimmer white shows. And we're going to pop this up with dimensionals. So let's grab those here. And I'm going to use mini dimensionals because they fit well on these petals here. And I'm just going to make sure I get a good amount on. I am excited to start sharing some of the new products coming out in the January to April mini catalog. Now, catalogs are being mailed out now to customers. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please hit that button up at the top and of my channel and go over to my website where it says contact me and email me your name and address. I'll be happy to send you a catalog. And I do have them to send out. And I'm excited to start sharing some of that with you. But I had said earlier, if for those that follow me, I'm not going to do it too early because I think it's frustrating when we show you things and you can't order them. So I'm going to wait till the last week of December to start with those, and I will give you some sneak peeks. This is the 10th week of my 12 weeks of Christmas. But next week I'm going to start to back off a little bit, and we're going to start using some other products. I don't want you to get tired of the Christmas, and I can do Christmas year round. So I have to be mindful of that for all of you. Let's go ahead. All right, now we're ready to put this on, and I'm going to angle this one just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to bring this one off. I've got to the side. So because this is going to lay on here, I'm only going to put a dimensional here and here. And if we need to, we'll stick a glue dot on there. So let's go ahead and put that on. And I'm going to tuck that stem in there so it looks like it's part of it. There we go. Okay. Now, our bow's going to go right in here. And I want to add my evergreen. So let's try one here, kind of angled up. And we're going to do one down. So let's go ahead and adhere this. And again, this is a very fine die. This would be a great die to use the adhesive sheets with. But I really don't mind the glue. And we have another long one here, or a little bit larger one. So I'm going to go ahead and add this. I had someone over crafting the other day, and I was using this stamp set. And they asked, you know, a lot of times as demonstrators, we sell or get rid of our stamp sets when the new ones come out because we can't really demonstrate them to you if they're not available for sale. And she asked me, after she saw me do this card, is this one I would be selling? And I said, no. I love this one so much. This is one I'm going to keep for my own stash for years to come. So, okay. And let's do one right here. So here's our layer. And we're going to go ahead and adhere this. Oh, not quite yet. We're not ready to do that right yet. I want to do something different with my greeting. I'm going to stamp my greeting, and I took, this is a 3/4 inch strip, and I believe it's by 5.5. I'm going to stamp my greeting right here, and then we're going to wrap it around this layer. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'm using the Christmas blessings to you and yours. And I'm going to do it in Mossy Meadow. So let's ink this up. I like at times to do something different with my sentiments. And this, I like the wrapping. Oh, went over. So let's flip it over. And I'm going to clean my stamp off. And that's because I pressed too hard on the ink pad, which is something I always tell during my classes, the participants not to do. So, okay, I think that'll be good. So let's go ahead and try that again. There we go. Now I'm just going to bring this layer back in, and I'm simply going to wrap this like this. So I want it in the middle. So not worrying about it too much, going to bend the end, go around here, try to make sure it's straight. And those of you that watch me know I don't do much straight. I'm challenged in that respect. But I am going to use my Stampin' Seal here and go ahead and lay this down. And then I'm going to go back here. And now that I see that straight, I'm just going to bend it. And I'm going to do the same here. Okay, so there's our layer. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this to the front. And again, all of these layers are just great, graduated by 1/4 of an inch. We're going to adhere that and press it down. Now you can see that that's kind of bowing up a little bit. So all I'm going to do is take a glue dot and adhere it to the stem here and lightly press that down. So there's the front of our card. Now we need to put our bow on, and I'm just going to add that right here. And again, I'm going to use another glue dot. And let's going to bend it up just a little bit. So you can't see it, and we're going to add it right here. So here's the front of our card. Let me know what you think. And now we're going to do the inside. So I stamped it. This is 4 1/4 by 5. Thank you, Gina. I'm so glad you like it. And this was one of the little dies that I cut from the Mistletoe dies. It's this little one with all these little berries. So all I'm simply going to do is put one of those in the corner and just dab this with some glue. And then I'm going to just put a little dab of glue on each one of those circles. And I'm going to use my pick tool with the putty. And I'm just going to pick up these berries and adhere them to the holly branch. I have found that my pick tool is great when I'm picking up my gems or little pieces of paper like this. It makes it really easy for me, just because I don't always have the dexterity in my hands to pick up those fine pieces or small pieces. Oops. Left a little piece of putty on there. Let's take that one off. Okay, and I'm going to put just another little dab of glue on there. And let's pick up another one. Okay, so there's our inside. And our card is finished. So here's the outside of our card and the inside. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Here's the two cards. Let me switch back over. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed sharing it with you and making it, and I'm so happy you were able to join me. Have a great weekend. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to share it. It helps me grow my channel, and I appreciate your help with that. Have a great weekend. I will be back with you on Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock and with a surprise. So stay safe, stay well, and I hope to see you soon.